Hello YouTube and welcome to another n8n tutorial. So in this video I'm gonna show you how to create your first workflow in n8n. So are you ready? Let's get started. So as you can see here, I am logging to my self-hosted n8n server. Okay, so the first actually page that you get is what we call a canvas. So this is your canvas. So here you can put all your nodes in order actually to create your workflow. So here on the upper left you can see that you can write here the name of your workflow, and you can also add tags if you want. Okay, so the first step, as you can see here, is to add a node. So there are a lot of types of node, but every actually workflow must start with special node called trigger node. Okay, so we can actually start or trigger our workflow manually, or we can schedule that for a specific date or time. Okay, but here we're gonna start simple. We're gonna create actually a manual trigger. So all I have to do is to click on this plus button here, and here we go. We have actually a bunch of nodes that I can choose from. So as I told you, we can trigger our workflow manually, so you can choose this trigger manual. Okay, so here it is. But of course, if you want to trigger that in a specific date or specific time, so instead of working with this manual trigger, you can add what we call on a schedule. So you can see here the difference between the two. Here we can specify the frequency of actually the execution of our workflow, specific time or specific date or week, as you want. So let's return back here. So let's delete this one. We will start very simple with a manual trigger. So let's add it. So this is our manual trigger. So here, of course, on the bottom of the canvas, we can zoom in, zoom out as you like. Okay, so now all we have to do now is to start very simple. So as you have seen on my previous video, I have actually a Google worksheet called employees. Okay, and if I click on it, you can see it's simple table that contains actually an employee table. So here we have employee ID, first name, last name, salary, department ID. So it's very simple, just to show you how we can actually start with making workflows. Okay, so let's return back to my canvas. So in order to connect with this Google Sheet, we have to add actually a special node working with Google Sheets. So I will add this plus button here, and here I have a list of nodes, so we can search by sheet or Google Sheet. Here we go. So I have here a Google Sheet, so I can select this node here, and here just underneath it you can see the different what we call action. So me, I want just to read the data on a worksheet. So simply I have to choose here the action to get rows in a sheet, as you can see here. Okay, so I select this node here. So this node here will allows me to read all the data on this table. Okay, so very simple. So of course here we have to create what we call a credential, because we want to connect to my Google Drive and read the data on it. So this is my Google Drive here. So I have to give n8n credentials in order to log in to my Google Drive and read this Google Sheet data. Okay, and also I have already done that. So all you have to do is to create new credentials, and here I have created a Google Sheet Auth2 API. So if you don't know how to make that, I have actually explained that very in detail on my previous video. Okay, so you can take a look at it in order to see how to create a Google Sheet account and link it to n8n. Okay, so here you can see the account is connected, so I can actually get in touch with all the documents on my Google Drive. Okay, so here you can see the different parameters for this Google Sheets node. So I have here sheet within a document. This is the resource. The operation is get rows. I want to read some data here. Document, I can choose from the list. So let me choose the employee table. Here we go. So it's very simple. And sheet, I have only one. So which is sheet 1, as you can see. So now I can just test this Google Sheet node and see if indeed I get the data. So I will click on this test step here, and n8n will display actually the data. So here, as you can see, the node has executed successfully, and I can get the data in different formats. So this is what we call an output. So I have actually 64 items or 64 actually rows. So I can view the data in the table format, in the JSON format, and I can also view the schema of the data. Okay, so pretty easy, pretty simple. Okay, so let's return back to our canvas. So now you can see I have two nodes. The first one is the trigger node. So every workflow must start with actually a trigger node. Okay, so after that I want to read some data on my Google Drive, so I have added this Google Sheet node. And of course, in order to get it working, I have to link it with the credentials. So you can create your credentials directly from actually the node, or you can just add them from here. You click on this plus button and you add your credentials. Okay, so here you can see for the output I have 64 items. Okay, so now let's say that I want to edit some fields, because if you see here on my table I have employee ID, I have first name, last name. So let's say that you want, for example, to combine the first name, last name, and get actually the full name, for example. Okay, so for this actually action I need another special node which called edit field. So the edit field node will allows me to combine and work with the data. So here you can see edit fields, modify, add or remove item fields. So let's click on it. Here we go. So this is my edit field. So I can actually do a mapping here. So I want to construct actually new field. So let's, for example, add here the first name and the last name. Okay, so here I have two fields. I can actually see here the results. So Stephen King, so this is the full name, and I want to rename this field with, I want to name it, for example, full name. Okay, so this is the new field that I have constructed. So let's test that. So here we go. You can see a new field has been created with the combination of first name and last name. Okay, and I can here include other input fields if I want. So I'll have just to trigger this button here. Let's test that once again. Here we go, and I have now all my fields with the extra field that I have created, which is called full name. Okay, so let's return back to our canvas here. So the third field has been added. We still have 64 items. So now let's say that we want to do some filtering on this actually rows. Let's select, for example, just the employees that have 100 as the department ID. So I can do that using n8n with the help of the filter node. So I will choose here the filter node. Here we go. And here, as I told you, we will select the persons that have as a department ID 100. So here I will just use drag and drop. So this is not full name, sorry, but the department ID. Here we go. And here its number, I want the number to be equal to 100. So let's test that and see if indeed we get those person. So as you can see here, I have 6 items or 6 employees that have as a department ID 100. Okay, pretty easy, pretty simple. So let's return back to our canvas. And finally, let's add another node. For example, I want to send this 6th item to Slack channel. So Slack is pretty known application that allows the team to collaborate with them or between them actually. So here I have created an account on Slack application. So as you can see here, this is my Slack. So the workspace is called My Hot Lab or My Home Lab actually. And I have a couple of channels here. Okay. So as always, we can just add special node for that, and you guess it, the node name will be Slack. So I will select it, and of course I have different actions. I want just to send a message to channel, so let's type send message. Here I have my node. Okay, so you have to actually create also credentials for Slack, because Slack needs actually credentials in order to actually log into your workspace. So I already created Slack account, but I can show you how we can do that. Okay, so let's for example create another Slack account. So here you have to actually connect using access token or OAuth 2. So let's use this access token in order to create a Slack account. So in order to do that, it's pretty simple. You have the documentation that actually shows you how to create that. So the first step, as you can see here, for the documentation from n8n, you have to go to your Slack API apps page. So I already opened it, and of course all the links you will find it on the description of this video. So this is the Slack API page. So you create new app. So I will create it from scratch, and I can give it a name. So let's call it, for example, n8n. And here you choose your workspace. So I will choose just my home lab, and I will create an app. Simple as that. So after that, if I follow actually the documentation, I have to go to OAuth and permissions and add actually scope. So let's do that. So I will go to my auth permissions, and I have to add here what we call scope. So in order to read actually or send messages to a specific channel on my workspace, I have to add here an auth scope called channel read. So this is it. So you just type it on the search and you get it. Okay, so I have added here a OAuth scope called channel read, and after that you have to actually install to your workspace. So I have to install it to my workspace, which is called in this case my home lab. Okay, and I have to allow that. Here we go. Okay, so I have finished it. So now all I have to do is to copy this boot user auth token to my n8n credentials. So I will go to my n8n credentials and I will paste it here. And this is it. I have to save that. And the connection, as you can see here, is successfully. So now I can interact with my Slack. So here I have selected. So this is the resource is the message. The operation is sent. So I will send it to a specific channel. So I will choose here channel, and I will choose the channel from the list. So if you get this kind of messages, you have to know that the scope that you have added is not valid. You have to add more scopes actually. So let me see what scope that I must add. So let's return back to my Slack here. So I will go here to scopes. So I need actually some other scopes. So chat read, chat write, chat write custom, and I will reinstall that on the application. So same thing here, I have to allow that. So let's return back to see if I get the channel list. Okay, so if I select from the list, you can see that now I can get the channel lists. So let me just refresh that. Here we go. So now you can see the list of all my channels on my workspace. So let's say I want to send that to social, for example, channel on my Slack. So the message type is simple text message, and here I can add the list of actually the employees that work on the department 100. So I'll choose the full name here. So I can write this is the list of employees. Okay, and I can just drag and drop here what we call here, it's an expression in JSON which contains actually the full names of the employees on the department IG 100. So I can test that, and here as you can see I get the list of all the employees of department IG 100 sent to my Slack. So if I go to my Slack here workspace and go to the notification actually channel, you can see that I get actually the list of the 6 employees on this department. Okay, so you can see how easy it is that you can set up actually n8n workflow using just those actually nodes. Okay, so that was just a brief video to just show you how you can begin writing workflows, simple workflows using n8n. So if you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content. And of course, if you have any suggestion for future video, drop them in the comments below. As always, I hope it has been informative for you, and I'd like to thank you for viewing. Bye bye.